Hi everyone, this is AlphaAli. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing another VOD review. This is for BurgerQueen and it is plat free. And basically just put, my brain is empty, I can't think of a description. So honestly, it doesn't really matter if you guys obviously come in with a description or not, just as long as I know kind of like the basic kind of rank, I know kind of like what I'm getting myself in for. And bear in mind as well, you guys can get your own VOD reviews, leave for 5,000 channel points. I do them over Twitch on Mondays, but also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays too. They are completely for free. All you have to do is simply come and say hello to my little community, or you can come and lurk. It is completely up to you guys. And obviously you can spend the channel points on other things as well. It's completely what you personally want to do. We have the Wing Victory skin on. It's not one of my faves. I'm sorry. I know I do like I'm very like judgmental with Mercy skins. I feel like sometimes Wing Victory isn't like personally one of my faves, but I can see why people like it and I see why it's, you know, kind of cute. And yeah, so I guess we'll kind of like just get straight into the VOD. We have ourselves a bit of a weird kind of team comp with obviously the Hog, the Widow, Bastion, and Lifeweaver. But obviously having Lifeweaver Mercy means that there isn't a lot of damage for your team. So we need to make sure that we're like, we're trying to push that damage boost as much as possible. But anyways, I guess we will kind of like just get straight into it. I guess we'll kind of like see what's going to happen in this game. So, obviously nice heals as a Bastion when he uses his little grenade thing, obviously get himself up quicker. First thing I would do, by the way, is I would be up with my Widow a little bit sooner here. The reasoning is because if you allow your Widow to take some nice like quick shots to begin with, it can quickly get a shot and then bam, like you've already won the first team fight because you're already up in numbers, okay? So basically what I want you to do is whenever you're coming into a team fight, try to make sure that you have your beam on whoever's going to take the damage first, basically. But we'll keep going. Nice heals obviously onto Widow. I'd make that a cancelled GA just to make sure that we have the GA like ready. So I'm doing the backwards GA. Whenever you see Hog hook people like this, be sure that we're putting the damage boost on him, okay? With Hog, especially like how it's been nerfed at the moment, you have to try and really help him commit onto kills, which you can do by helping damage boost his hooks. Basically, you don't need to damage boost the initial hook, but as long as you're damage boosting when he hooks someone in and obviously he shoots someone, if you damage boost that shot, it'll help like basically get a lot more damage onto whoever he hooks. Because at the moment, obviously, the state the Hog is in at the moment, he really struggles to get the one shot unless he like really takes his time and does the combo correctly, which someone in plat is probably not going to be able to do. So if you are basically there and ready to enable this Hog by being able to damage boost that Hog hook, it could definitely help try and take some damage out from that hook target, and then your Bastion could obviously, you know, help finish up on that basically. But we'll keep going. Nice, love how you reposition as well, it's obviously down the way. Nice. Love it. I love how like even if he's he's not in like he's not full HP and you're still pushing this damage boost. This is really, really great, okay? I love how like you just kind of like make sure he still has like that tiny bit of armor and stuff like that basically, but then you're pushing the damage boost. Really, really nice play from you here. Love how obviously, you know, you're just tapping onto that healing, which is completely fine. Nice heals whenever he like goes away. Really, really good like beam management, I will say. This is really, really nice. My only thing, I said this in my last VOD, okay? Try not to just kind of like hang about in the doorway if you can, because especially because they have this Hanzo, right? Hanzo can simply just jump in, bam, headshot, you're gone, because that's how stupid Hanzo is as a character. So what you can do actually to kind of like help avoid this is try just to play on one side if you can. Maybe like play this side, just keep like jiggle peeking it like this, just so you're cutting out as much time as you are spending peeking this, because if you're kind of like just vibing out in this doorway, you might as well just be stood out in the open. Okay, so I think definitely either play in this room and like play like this, or a better positioning right now would actually just to play behind the rocks. The reason playing behind the rocks would be a little bit better here is obviously, you know, you can still help out your Bastion. At the same time, if your Lifeweaver takes some damage, you can just literally turn around and just put a beam onto him. Just so you know, so you have options for both here. So I think we should definitely try kind of like change up our position here. Don't get me wrong, I love the position. I love how you're like trying to keep safe and stuff. But I think we could definitely improve it by playing a little bit more here. Alright, but we'll keep going. Let's get nice heals. Love how you push the damage boost once again, just so he's up a little bit more, basically. I want us to be in the rooms in case if there's a flanker. Alright, so flankers, they're going to come from here, aren't they? Flanker. Bam. Okay. Because actually, you being stood here is actually going to make you more vulnerable to flankers. Let me give you an example. So let's say there's Tracer. They have a Tracer, okay? I'm Tracer. Blink. Blink. There's a beam here, okay? Now, a smart Tracer will go after the support, because obviously the support is the one that's going to keep up the DPS, okay? The Mercy's in the room. Blink. Blah, 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 blah. And guess what? You can't get out. Can you not? Because obviously the Tracer's here. She's going to track you down. You try J'ing yourself out. She's just going to blink and finish you off, okay? So, if you actually play here, it gives you more chance to react to the Tracer and allows you to kind of like either J yourself back out to your Widow or like sling yourself back basically and warn your team, because you actually being in this room, especially with the beams up, is actually going to make you more of a target, okay? No, it's the right BurgerQueen. No, I like your thought process. Don't get me wrong. Like, I like the idea of it. It's just executed wrong, okay? I think definitely would be better if we played over here basically. Okay, but we'll keep going. When Lifeweaver yeah, nice. I was just about to say, as soon as Lifeweaver pulls back that hog, just make sure we're trying to heal, but really, really nice. And we got that now. Let's get a lovely damage boost. I feel as though you're just kind of clearing everyone out now, which is really, really great. Overall, a really, really good, like, smart fight. I love how you just stay with your Bastion. You stay where you are because you're safe as well. Practicing if you're safe, stay in that space, because I don't see a lot of, like, enough people doing that. So really, really great so far. I really, really love it. Can you see how your Lifeweaver is trying to do damage right now, but your Bastion and your Hog aren't? Put your beam onto him. If you put your beam onto your Lifeweaver now, he might actually get a pick off or maybe like do quite a bit of damage to, you know, scare them off and stuff like that. It'll also, well, he has his ultimate, but let's say he didn't have his ultimate. Let's say he was like 90 to ult, okay? If you damage boost him right now, he could get his ultimate up and ready for the next team fight, okay? So just try to think to yourself who's doing the damage right now. Same time as well, just try to kind of like keep an eye on your Widowmaker, because obviously your Widowmaker's taking like a really, really aggressive angle right now. What happens is if she starts getting pressured, she's gonna she's gonna like go and like grapple out to be back with you guys. So just while you kind of obviously, you know, stood around kind of like, you know, in this kind of like off fight, I guess, where like you're not really doing anything, try just to make sure they're still looking up your Widow, just to make sure that she's that she's okay. But we'll keep going. Sebastian's back in turret for him. Lifeweaver's got up with Widow now, which is completely fine. Same thing again, where it's like you kind of, oh wait, he's dropped now. I was just about to say, if your Lifeweaver stayed up here, I would actually maybe just GA and then just play underneath him like here. The reason is because you want to try and get as much damage potential out of your team as possible. So basically, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, Bastion is your main blue beam target in this comp, 100%. But there is still damage potential out of everyone in your team. So just try to remember that and think, okay, who is actually the one that's being the most aggressive right now? And damage boost them, you know? Alright, so we'll keep going. Same thing again with obviously playing out in this open bit. Try to play a pillar if you can, just to make sure that once again we're not opening up this like angle to people being able to pick you off. Pick a side. Love your beam management though, can I just say, BurgerQueen? Like it's your damage boost usage has been really, really great. Like nice. Love how you decide to damage boost Bastion there, because obviously Bastion's gonna do more. Love this rotation. Completely fine, obviously backing off. My only thing is we need to be careful of Hog here, okay? Don't go wrong, like I like this rotation, and obviously I like how you end up kind of like saving your GA a bit, you know, just in case of the Bastion ult. Obviously you do end up walking out this way, but as we can see, our Hog has had to walk forward as well because of it, and our Lifeweaver is currently like on his own little thing basically. I forgot Hog was even there yet, which I feel as though right now BurgerQueen is a little bit of an awareness issue, okay? I feel as though we have been very tunnel visioned on just being with this Bastion, which is completely fine because, you know, he is our main bleeding target, but at the same time, there are still another 3 people that we also need to try and assist with, okay? So as we're doing this, think to ourselves, okay, Lifeweaver is nowhere to be seen round us, okay? We need to be also trying to help our Hog. But we'll keep going. So I don't know whether we'll be able to keep him up, but we could definitely make a valiant effort to try to. Nice. Bob G2 winner, very, very nice. Ooh, okay. I feel as though we could have definitely made, instead of slingshot yourself to here, because a lot of these guys that are currently following up on you are very kind of like short range people, like Moira, like Reaper. Obviously, Bastion's a little bit further back, so we don't need to worry about him right now. I would have definitely made this more, instead of obviously just slingshot yourself to here, we could have extended it out and slingshot yourself over to here. It doesn't matter if you end up in the cover right now, because remember, you don't have anyone that is very long range. You know, they don't have themselves, for example, a Widowmaker. So then it allows you to then, you could just walk up here and then you're going to be out of the way of it, basically. Bastion grenade, love it. I mean, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was, what's it called? It was going to be quite risky if you guys could get out anyways. I feel as though with your Life Weaver there, you could have definitely just held back for a second, then GA'd out to the Life Weaver, and the Life Weaver could have gripped out. But it's just kind of thinking, again, in your head, how can they, you know, get me? And they can't really get to you because they're all short-range people, you know. You need to be able, like, to create that distance from them. Love that cancel GA, can I just say? It's really, really nice. Just same thing again. We are stood very open to this team. Adjust your positioning by either playing here or playing here. I think your best bet would be to play here, so that you can kind of like just jiggle peek like this, and you also have the option to kind of like help these guys basically. But once again, us being stood here is just going to lead to spam damage from these guys. Like, yes, they are short range people, but do you, like, this Lucio can, for example, can really, really hurt you if you end up kind of hitting a few, you know, if a few of these like little shots end up hitting you instead of the Bastion. All right. Nice. You know how you position right now? Do that all the time. Really, really nice. Nice ping. Nice ping, I will say. Okay, can't do anything about that though. Okay, he ends up dying, which is good. I was just about to say, the first thing you need to do now is get yourself away. I would have actually made this a slingshot completely out to your Life Weaver, like over here. Just so it means that, you know, you're basically creating that biggest distance that you can from that Reaper to make the Reaper focus your Widowmaker rather than yourself. Because if you end up just staying here and this Widowmaker doesn't hit the shot, it then means that, what's it called, you're just, you know, he's just going to roll over you, basically. Kind of a habit to crouch a bit randomly. I don't know if that's a good thing. It is good, especially because I see a lot of people jumping instead of crouching. Obviously, jumping. So if people don't know obviously about jumping is a straight vertical up and down movement. Like, it does not change. Like, she just, you know, she just goes up and down. There is nothing you could do to cancel it. There is nothing you could do to stop it. Compared to crouching, where you have full control over a crouch. You can decide when you want to release the crouch. You can decide how much you crouch and how quickly, compared to jumping. Also, with crouching, it doesn't mess up your GAs as much, because a lot of people just have the habit of just going boing, 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 and then when they try to GA, it'll just send them in like a completely random direction. So it's good to try and crouch, do not get me wrong, but if you can, try to, you know, limit the crouching to like when you're having to peek at LOS, because there are always times as Mercy where you cannot be in like nice safe cover. There will be times where you end up, you know, being in LOS of people. That's the point where you can do like your nice little crouch spamming and stuff like that. So it's good. Like, I do it quite often because I cannot sit still long enough to, you know, to like just stand there still. You know, I have to be like kind of like crouching or doing something. It's good, and I think it's better than jumping, which would be really great. Nice with the res. Love your use of cover as well there, which is really, really great. Only thing is you end up kind of like being a little bit lost after the res, okay? So we do our res. What's now going to be our main priority with our res? We either first need to check that these guys are okay. Okay, these guys are okay. Widow's still here, remember? Go to damage with Widow now, because then it means that Widow can, you know, be really, really aggressive at this angle. She could maybe get a shot off on the Moira or just like somebody basically. Then obviously Bastion will then respawn. Bastion could go into his nice little turret form again. And then bam, he just like kills people with like the damage boost. All right, so just make sure after your res to make sure that you A, have an escape route, but also B, to make sure that you know what you want to do after the res. I would have focused a lot more onto the Bastion rather than the Widow here, okay? Because what's going to happen is the Bastion is taking an aggressive angle right now, while the Widow is going to be actually kind of passive and like just doing a rotation round here. So I would rather, obviously, yes, the Widow's weak, don't get me wrong. Top her up to about half HP-ish and then focus straight onto your Bastion, because your Bastion is going to be the one that's going to try and get a pick right now, okay? Nice heals, obviously, onto him. Flick that damage boost on. Very, very nice. Nice rotation. Obviously, Hog ends up dying for it, which, you know, doesn't really matter too much. I would make this, so you see how your GA will end kind of like here, because you end up GAing to the Bastion when he's here. Make this then a crouch Guardian Angel to pop yourself up onto this high ground. Just because, once again, these guys are really like short range people. It puts you at a nice safe distance, as well as being able to help your Bastion right now. Nice. Don't res it there. I was about to say, because you've not finished off clearing up people right now, so it is completely fine if you do not go and res this, because obviously, you know, this diva is still going to be alive behind you guys. So don't go for this res. the Hog can very easily get back to his team fight really, really quickly. Focus on this Bastion a little bit more. Love this rotation back, so obviously you know where the, what's called the D.Va is. Love how you tried to go up to go and help your Widow. Really, really nice. Okay. I will say your appeal for people is also really, really great right now. BurgerQueen, like, I love how you're, what's called, I love how you're thinking about who I need to heal for and stuff like that. Really, really nice. Better use of cover here, I will say. This is really, really nice. Really nice use of cover. Pop Valk. I would have popped Valk here. Okay. The reason is because what's going to happen is these guys are going to use beats to, like, basically really quickly engage into you guys. And also, you end up, I feel as though you end up kind of, like, panicking a bit because you don't really know what space to have, okay? What you can do is you can pop Valk here, fly up to, like, here-ish kind of thing. Obviously, you know, still try and, like, use your pillars and stuff like that. It then means that you won't be panicking as much. Like, you can also, like, apply, like, some kind of, like, pressure from your own team as well, because obviously they'll use beat just to rush into you guys. However, your Valk lasts so much longer than their beat. So as soon as their beat is gone, they're all just going to be, you know, like, rushed in kind of thing. And if you provided that Valk and you've ended up peeling for people, which you have been doing really nicely, if you do that exact same thing again, it then means that then you can balance your beams between these guys, like maybe balance it between, obviously, you know, helping your Bastion, who's still got control of the robot. You could also, obviously, you know, use your beams and also play above the Reaper like this and help these guys. I would definitely Valk this just so what's it called? I do struggle with Valk timers, which is completely fine. That's res, by the way. Help, help, Hog, help, Hog. Whenever there's a Reaper that's just walking onto a Hog like this, and obviously your Hog's using his ult, try to keep him up right now. I feel as though he's more of a priority than anybody else. It's unfortunate that, you know, he doesn't pull or anything. Nice. Love how you use your cover there. Really, really nice. She's got the slingshot for cover. Nice cancel, Jake, so obviously you don't know where it's going. Really, really nice. But I think, yeah, we should have definitely Valked there because obviously the team ended up getting split. Ooh, okay, let's quick look at this. I feel as though we should have definitely Valked before then, though, just so we can carry on applying that pressure, basically. BurgerQueen, I think I have done a video on my page about Valks. So if you want, you know, on my TikTok page. So if you want kind of like some help on Valk timings and stuff like that, it will be up on my page. If it isn't up on my page, though, please shout at me and I will make one because I feel as though that's a very necessity thing that I need to make. But if I haven't made a Valk timing TikTok, then please do let me know. Anyway, so I feel as though we end up hanging about here for too long because you know that this team is now going to start pressuring you guys to try and get some pickoffs, okay? I feel as though you got yourself up here and you think, oh, phew, I'm safe, okay? Remember, they have like 3 people. Technically 4 if Moira. I don't think Moira could fade up here. I don't know enough about Moira to know about that, basically. But I know D.Va, I know Lucio, and I know Reaper can still get up onto these high grounds, okay? So, yes, you're safe for like that 1 second. You're like, phew, okay? As soon as you can, though, you now need to be slingshotting yourself with your Widowmaker, obviously damage boosting her, and flick yourself away to be able to make that distance from the D.Va because you know that D.Va is going to try and follow up and try and get any pickoffs from you guys that have obviously, you know, fled the last team fight, okay? So I feel as though at this point, it's you being a little bit too complacent. You being like, oh yeah, I'm fine, phew, okay, team fight's done. And then bam, like you just end up getting taken out by this D.Va like this. So I would have definitely slingshot ourselves out to my team a little bit sooner. Just so we can then create that distance away from the D.Va to avoid us, you know, maybe like being picked off basically. But anyways, obviously we get quick respawn because they've just capped, which is really, really great. We'll hop back in. Nice. Nice pushing up with your Bastion here. Lovely GA cancel, can I just say as well. Wow. Okay, you survived that at the skin of your teeth, okay? What I really want you to do, because you have made a mistake here that has cost you 2 things, which I'm going to talk about in a second, okay? Whenever you want to try and peel for your second support, think to yourself, are they actually being pressured right now and do they desperately need my help? Okay? Because I like this. I like how you're playing here, okay? You see the Life Weaver is weak, but he's just about to use his pelter platform, okay? his petal platform will allow him to obviously, you know, play up on the platform, give himself the extra bit of height, bearing in mind they're a very close range team. So he can just vibe. He will just wait for his support passes to pick in. He will just vibe on this platform. You can then essentially just push him with this Bastion. This is where the second issue comes in. You end up abandoning this Bastion. Because unless if you have comms with this Bastion, in fact, even if you do have comms with this Bastion, right, this Bastion will die if you leave him. You need to stick it out with him. Because what's going to happen is you leave, right, because obviously you leave to go and help Lifeweaver. He's going to keep on pushing him because obviously he's in his turret form. Bastion in turret form just goes and just walks forward because that's what Bastions do, okay? So he's just going to walk forward like this, okay? He's going to get rolled by these guys, which you'll see in a second. Let me, what's it called? I care so much about peeling for others. Yes. Which is a good thing and a bad thing, BurgerQueen. Because I feel as though, you know what it is with you? It's decision making. Because there has been a few, like for example with your Valk, you didn't know whether to Valk or not. There's been a few times as well previously where we've struggled to kind of like make a decision or make a correct decision. That is the thing that we're struggling with right now. We're struggling with decision making, okay? Which is something that comes with time and something that comes with experience, okay? I'll talk more about it after the end of the VOD, okay? Because I want to obviously, you know, carry on with it and stuff like that. But I could talk more about decision making like towards the end because I want to see if that's like your real issue as well. But yeah, I think because if going back to obviously this point, if I show this Bastion right now, you see how he ends up getting rolled by these guys? But imagine if you were here. Imagine if you were here to, you know, to help him out. And then, oh, if they start focusing me, okay, that's fine. I can like sling myself out here. We can use like prop jumps on this wall and stuff like that. We can basically create quite a bit of space here and keep our Bastion up. Right now, our main aim is our Bastion. Because our Lifeweaver is completely safe, he's completely fine, we turn around, he's in a safe spot, okay? We know he's okay. So our decision at this point needs to be helping Bastion and helping him out. Now, I'll go back to you. You're here. So let's see what you end up doing towards the end of this. Damage with Zarya here. Like, we definitely need to be pushed up with Zarya some more. Nice. I like the res, obviously, because Zarya's are getting pulled back, which is completely fine. But I think we should have definitely tried to push up with Zarya and damage boost her some more there. Remember, Zarya's with charge do a like insane amount of damage. So if you can put the beam on. Lovely damage boost here. Nice. Love how you wait till the end as well to heal. Really, really nice. I cannot fault your beam usage, can I just say. Valk, 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 Valk. Another same thing again. With the Valk, right? Valk means that obviously, you know, we don't need to be in the Torbolt. It also means that we can help this Zarya get out because obviously Zarya ends up getting zoned off and ends up, you know, being forced out by here. If we could at least try to get the Zarya just to here, Lifeweaver can pull it back, okay? Because what ends up happening is you kind of like, oh, the Torbolt, oh no, my Zarya kind of thing, right? I would definitely once again pop our Valk. We're saving our Valk too often now. You have not used a Valk here, BurgerQueen. That's the point that I was just about to make to you. We're holding on to our Valk, okay? I don't want you to hold on to your Valk and wait for like the perfect opportunity because it might never happen. You might go through the entirety of this 10-minute match and you never find the perfect time to Valk, okay? If you think that you need Valk or if you think my team could really help with doing Valk here, pop it. And then afterwards, think to yourself, okay, was that a good Valk or was that maybe not necessary, okay? Because there's been so many times where I pop Valk and I'm like, why did I do this, okay? Right? But I think it is better if you Valk than not Valk at all, okay? Because if you do Valk and it goes bad, obviously, okay, you think, okay, at least I helped. At least I tried, okay? Whereas I feel as though at this time, it's like, you know, like, I don't have Valk in or Zarya ends up dying, okay? Okay? I want you to just pop the Valk if you feel like you need it. Definitely. So ends up kind of everyone's falling. That's how obviously end up, you know, getting out to your widow right now. Lifeweaver's dead, which is completely fine. Like how, you know, you managed to get out to your widow, really, really nice. Nice. Same thing with the sling here. You can actually just wait for your what's called. You can definitely just wait for your what's called your Widowmaker just to kind of like rotate here because you doing a GA and flicking your head hitbox down and back like this is once again a lot safer than you just what's called just walking just across. But we keep going. We'll keep going. Damage his Bastion here. Same thing again, we could pop Valk now. Love how you reposition there, can I just say. I love how you, what's it called? I love how you play this room, and then I feel as though in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, like, what's it called? I know I'm going to be, like, really, like, vulnerable in this room. So I love how you then make this rotation out. Really, really, really nice that you realize that. We put Valk, yay! Nice. Nice. I love how you switched your beam to your Zarya there. Just, I want you to make that decision a little bit sooner, okay? Think to yourself. So Ram has just put his barrier up here. Bastion is behind the barrier, and Zarya is in front of the barrier. Who is the person that is going to be doing damage right now? It's going to be the Zarya, okay? So if you can, try to damage boost, basically think to yourself, okay, who is going to get the most effective use out of my blue beam right now? It's going to be the Zarya that's pushed forward right now. So use your Valk, like, yes, lovely position with your Valk, love how you're using the space, love how you're using your cover, but try if you can to keep adjusting who you've got your beam on in the Valk. Try obviously, you know, make it centralized as much as you can, but for example, in this kind of scenario, it would actually be better to put it on the Zarya so she can take the damage. Then once the barrier's gone down, then bam, it's like free game, you know, just like pop it on the whoever's like in the middle basically to get the most out of it. We'll keep going. Nice. This is one of the scenarios where I would like you to damage boost Bastion ult here. If you just quickly flicked here and damage boosted the Bastion ult, because this Bastion ult is acting, you know how like people do like grab dragons, right? Where obviously they'll focus the dragon onto whoever's in the grab basically. This will, what's it called? What you will want to do here is obviously instead of damage boosting the Zarya, who is obviously, she's not even in like beam range right now of kind of like, you know, being in with these guys. It would be so much better if you just quickly just apply that, what's it called? Quickly apply the damage boost onto the Bastion. That Bastion could just, you know, absolutely rain down on the enemy team with, what's it called? With his Bastion ult. And it will like rip through basically the entirety of the sound barrier. Alright? But we'll keep going. See, nice. Like that GA cancel. Damage boost Bastion here. Can you see how our Zarya is currently backed off right now? Just obviously let your Zarya back off and just, you know, push the damage boost onto your Bastion right now. Like, yes, I know this shield's here, but like right now there's nobody that's in front of the shield being like really, what's it called? Be really aggressive. So you could just, what's it called? You could put your beam onto your Bastion and just play back here basically. Nice. Ooh, that's such a lovely pull, bless him. I was just about to say do a backwards GA or something. That was a lovely pull. I was honestly just about to mention this high ground to you. I love how you're already using it. BurgerQueen, I will say your map knowledge is really, really great as well, can I just say. Your positioning as well, for the majority of the time, is really, really good. I love how you, what's called, you know kind of like where these little bits of positioning are. I love how you realize, oh yes, all the team are very like, you know, like, especially because they got rid of this diva, there is very few people that can come up here and come and, like, you know, get to you right now. I love this positioning from you. Really, really nice. Same thing at the life weaver spine, so you can just kind of, like, just leave him. My only thing is, towards this end of kind of, like, being up here, you end up kind of, obviously, you know, peeking this, and then, obviously, you know, taking this damage from this, Ramatra. I would definitely kind of like back this out more and then play kind of like over here, or like, because you end up obviously taking this bit of damage basically like from these guys. So I would definitely either like keep your beam onto your Zarya and then just kind of like walk around here or stuff like that, just so you're not taking that little bit of spam damage from the Ramatra. Same thing, get damage boost. Same thing, get damage boost Zarya here, because once again, Zarya is in front of the barrier. She's the one that's going to do damage. Zarya at this point will want to just walk onto this Moira, because obviously you get rid of the Moira, you get rid of the Ramatra, because unfortunately, if Moira does not go at this very moment in time, Ramatra's just going to like live forever, okay? Right now, you want to be the most effective that you can be. Put your beam onto that Zarya, allow the Zarya just to walk on, okay? But we keep going. Because right now, you being kind of like, you know, just stood with the Life Weaver isn't really going to do anything. Nice. Did you? I feel as though you got a little bit stuck on the lamppost here, which is like, what's it called? It's quite funny in my opinion. But anyways, obviously you end up kind of coming forward a little bit, which is completely fine.
No one can hide from my sight.
Anyways, so obviously pushing up with the Widow now. Obviously you know where everyone is because of sights, which is nice. Love how you're pushing up with her, like obviously on this off angle. Really, really nice. Literally just proving my point, okay? Don't push up here if you don't need to, okay? You should never, ever be wanting to peek an angle like this is Mercy, okay? You do not need comp. Remember, you have walls. You literally have wall hacks right now because of the Widowmaker, okay? So you know where the enemy team are. So there is absolutely no reason for you to peek it to know where they are because you can see them literally through the walls, okay? But even if you don't have walls, okay, you don't actually need to be peeking this because you don't need to see where they are, okay? It is not your job or your responsibility to be able to see where they are and damage them. It is your job to enable the Widowmaker, and you will be able to tell from her kind of like body language and also obviously sound from the game. You will know kind of like what the enemy team are going to be doing. So all you need to do right now is honestly, you need to sit back like here. Okay, because then obviously if Widowmaker ends up being one-shot headshot by, for example, like let's say they had a Hanzo, just like speculation purposes like at this point, okay? Let's say they had a Hanzo and your Widowmaker gets one-shot headshot. Obviously at that point he's gonna like lunge forward and come onto you with storm arrows, so you have to obviously, you know, rotate main. Now, obviously, they have Torb. Torb can very easily just hit, like, 2 headshots. So you can, obviously, you know, get the res off around the corner and stuff like that. But you peeking like this, I know, I guess, hot molten lava or whatever it is, right? That's coming straight for your head. This is very unnecessary damage or making risk that is just not needed risk. We can just sit back here. We can just sit back here, play with the Widowmaker. Oh, Widowmaker's fallen. Okay, think, can I res, can I not? Obviously, that comes depending on, like, scenarios and everything. Or you can just obviously peel back to your team. You know, making sure that you have that secondary option. But we keep going. That's how you do end up doing it, but yeah, definitely just once again play that safety. You don't need to be peeking that. Obviously, we are looking to go forward a little bit. I would definitely be slinging myself a little bit more forward here, just so I'm like still like with the team. Because right now, yes, Widow's doing well and stuff, but at the same time, we also want to try and clear out some of the sagas. Love how you're positioned with Widow right now. Really, really nice. Love how you reposition here as well, right? Because I love how, what's it called? You don't like just hang about like here because obviously they have literal angles like from spawn here basically. So I love how you GA yourself into this like little piece of cover here. This is really, really nice. See, nice heals. I love how you're flicking on that damage boost whenever the Widow peaks. BurgerQueen, I cannot fault your like damage boost usage whatsoever. I think it's really, really great, okay? Like whenever she's peeking, you're flicking on the damage boost. Cannot fault it. It's really, really great. My only thing is you've kind of like just brought to my attention right now by doing this. Make sure that while you're pocketing your Widowmaker, be sure just to be looking round for people trying to either, you know, like dive you in Widowmaker, but also be making sure that your team's okay. Remember, you can see, obviously, whoever you're blue beaming or whatever, like, kind of beams that you're doing right now, you can see them on your screen. You can see, obviously, their health bar. You can see, like, how they're doing, basically. So you can actually take time just to have a bit of a look around, okay? You definitely don't need to be, what's it called? You definitely don't need to be, like, damage, like, what's it called? Just looking at your Widowmaker right now. You can look around at these guys and stuff like that. But we'll keep going. Nice. At this point, I would be kind of like listening out to what's it called, to this kind of like bridge area basically, because if obviously guys end up like, you know, pushing into you and they just catch you obviously being here with the Widowmaker, they're just gonna walk onto you, right? So just be kind of like just obviously listening out at this point onto the bridge just to make sure. Lovely how you go damage boost the storm arrows. Nice quick res. When we do this res though, make sure that we are flicking ourselves away or like, you know, just making sure that we're doing something to, just so we're not stood in the exact same spot, because these guys will obviously be rushing onto you now, like they know you're going to be there basically. So just make sure that we're just like ready, either like doing a last little slingshot out to here or like just rotating around to like the back of the sign or something. You can actually stand here, by the way. You can like stand like behind this sign like this, so you can very much just do like a J bunny hop behind the sign, or you can do a slingshot, whatever you're most comfortable with, and just go behind the sign like this after the res. Valk. 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 I feel as though we end up popping Valk a bit late because we end up obviously, what's it called? we end up with the molten core. Do you see how I'm calling these the Valk here? Because they start pushing in like really, what's it called? You see how like they're pushing in like really, really aggressively? This is a time where you want to just be popping Valk, okay? Pop it. Pop Valk, play up like out of the way, like up here if you need to and stuff like that, so you can, what's it called? Damage, obviously, like flick between like beams and stuff like that. About here, basically, you can play up here, just out of the way, basically. This is a moment we should have Valked a little bit sooner, because I feel as though we end up obviously just popping the Valk, because we end up GAing into the tour of ultimate, and they're like, oh my gosh, then we panic, okay? It's fine, because we have got the Valk off, which is nice. Definitely still helps Zarya here. We should have kind of used this Valk to help out Zarya a little bit more. Make sure we still keep an eye on her. Lovely pull by your life weaver, kind of say. Just make sure, obviously, while we're still getting her out, like, yes, we want to try and be as safe as we can. Just make sure that we're still keeping an eye on kind of like what our Zarya's doing as well. Just so we don't end up losing beam connection on her, like just how we did. Beam connection is extremely important. Can't really go in there, which is completely fine. Ooh. If you want to go in and go and help, If you want to obviously GA in here to try and help your Zarya, do this as a GA cancel. Because then A, it'll give you the 1.5 seconds on the just in case these guys rush into you, and then you could just GA yourself back to these guys. The second thing as well is it gives you nice bit of like lovely little bit of natural cover. I agree with you going in to go and help Zarya here. I feel as though this is the correct decision. It's just badly executed. It should definitely have just been a GA in, jiggle peek like this for 1.5 seconds, and then bam, you could get yourself out, because life either can help at this point, or like we could just GA ourselves out to the side and still keep our beam onto her and stuff, okay? Because we end up taking a lot of unnecessary damage from, what's it called? Nice. Do that as literally, instead of just GA straight res, do this as a GA buddy hop res. What I mean by this is essentially just either cancel your res just as you get to the targets, or you just leave the, what's it called? Leave it and then get yourself around just to, what's it called? To allow yourself to get this res off. Because you know that this Widowmaker has just died from peeking this angle, and now you're resing in that angle, okay? Try to close down the angle by doing a cancel, bunny hop, or a slingshot. Once again, whatever you're most comfortable with. I would recommend the bunny hop personally. Get that res off. I agree with the res. I like the res. Just, once again, safety. Help your life weaver here. Nice. Unfortunately, we couldn't get in time, which is completely fine. Zarya's ended up being cut off. Bit of a bad G there. Nice. See how once again our Widowmaker is currently being blocked off by the shield. Go and help your Hanzo instead, who will have a better angle after he's just shot the what's it called? The arrows and everything. Push forward with Hanzo here. Nice. We should definitely push forward with Hanzo a tiny bit more here, because if you manage to get a damage boosted headshot onto this Ramotra, and then say your Hanzo still has storm arrows on him and stuff, we could very easily just, what's it called, help. If you also think it's a little bit too risky, don't be afraid just to, you know, pop yourself behind this boss and stuff like that if you need to, and like play there if you need to. Nice topping up here though. Just once again, it's the same thing again where we're putting peeling people over people that want to be aggressive, okay? This is the second time now where it's like, we've seen our hands on what's getting aggressive with the storm arrows, basically. So we need to be kind of prioritizing going in with this damage boost to the storm arrows before we go and help Widow. Widow's only lost like a tiny bit of HP. Yeah, if she was like 10 HP and she was like really critical, then yeah, I would definitely maybe say like, okay, you know, you need to prioritize it. But she's lost like the tiniest bit of HP, so definitely prioritize your hands on more here, okay? Obviously, we did a contested, so it's overtime. Love how we're like playing around the robot though. As soon as we know that there's people contesting this bot, get off the point, okay? As Mercy, unless if you are stalling it out, you should never ever be on the payload, in my opinion. Like I don't know whether the controversial opinions about the payload, but I think it's definitely like if there's other people that can touch it, let them touch it. You should kind of be not so much a last resort, but be there to kind of either like J on and off, like to stall it or like stuff like that, basically. But don't be stood on it. Like it's good that you went on, obviously, you know, to go and contest it and keep the contest alive. But as soon as you've done that job, bam, get yourself out of there, okay? Same thing again. We should be with Hanzo here, damage boosting the storm arrows. It's fine, these guys. So these guys can touch point right now. So once again, just what's it called. Sometimes it's hard to trust your teammates to stay on point. I feel as though in Platinum BurgerQueen, you should be able to trust them at least quite a little bit. Like, especially these kind of overtime scenarios, you can definitely just trust people to be on. Unless if you see that overtime little sparkle thing going down, basically, you do not need to be on it. Like, if it's full, it's absolutely fine. If you see it's obviously starting to slightly go down and you see people walking away from the point, then I think definitely maybe get on. But you can very much kind of judge it rather than just, oh, I have to be on the point because I don't trust anybody, okay? You have to have some sort of trust with people. Alright, but throughout this entire time, I would say we needed to kind of like slingshot ourselves round to the side rather than just like walking through, because that's how we end up taking our damage basically. With the push robot, because right now you're actually making it harder for your team to push it right now because you're actually edging it forward, okay? If you just allow your team to just give it a second and then push it, there's with push compared to like to payload and like control points, I feel there's actually more time in the overtime because of how obviously the robot kind of like settles itself first and then the countdown starts to go down. So it actually gives you a little bit more time, okay? You actually pushing yourselves up to try and, you know, push this robot is the reason why it's, like, so hard for your team to push it right now. Keep yourself back and keep it for your team to push it. But nice. Same thing, out while we're still pushing this, still be trying to J yourself, like, around pieces of cover and stuff on the just in case. Nice. Push yourself up with your Widow. Nice. I would stay on this side though instead of being on the side that you've just gone to. You could still play with Widow on this side here. Just it means that you're still with your team then on the just in case. We need to damage with storm arrows there, by the way. You know you damaged with them last time? Lovely hit. Nice res. Okay, I would have just made this a straight GA, basically, what's it called? So, you know how you know how like, you're trying to help your Zarya out and stuff like this, and obviously you know the Visor's going to be main? You need to try and either J yourself out into this kind of window here, or you just need to J yourself fully through, like this. I feel as though this is going to be really hard for you guys to pick up anyways, but I feel as though if you J yourself out like this is just going to put you at risk to the Visor, okay? You want to try and limitize that as much as you can and just J yourself either forward or J yourself out into like this little room bit and you try and keep your beam onto like the Hanzo for like a wall bounce or something. But I feel as though if I carry this on, it's probably going to be a loss. Which is unfortunate because honestly, you guys did so well to try and like maybe recover from it, but it's push, and push is such a horrendous game mode. I hate it. But BurgerQueen, okay, let's start off with the positives. I absolutely adore your beam management. The way that you're flicking on that damage boost whenever people are still like half HP and they're peeking. A really, really good example was when your Widowmaker was peeking on that high ground and you were flicking on the damage boost whenever she was peeking and healing when she got back. Same with the Bastion whenever he was peeking and stuff like that. I absolutely adored that. Really, really good damage boost, and keep that beam usage. I really, really like that. I feel as though your positioning was good the majority of the time, BurgerQueen. I want you though to be kind of a little bit more aware with how we're positioning a little bit more though. There was a few times where we were kind of like just hanging about in chokeholds and we were like not really doing anything, okay? Be sure that we're still trying to play that cover as much as I can. I want your goal to be, as you're playing Mercy, to cut off as much LOS from the enemy team as you can, because if they can't see you, the majority of the time they will either, well, not know where you are, but it'll make you so much harder for them to come and pick you off basically. So if you try and play out like off to the side so much more, really, really great, okay? My main thing with you, BurgerQueen, is your decision making. And what I mean by this is there's been a few times where we just make the wrong decision, and you're always going to do that as Mercy, okay? It's just, you know, you are a human being. Like, there's always going to be times where you make wrong decisions because it is what it is. It's how you play Mercy, okay? So I think my first piece of advice for you, right, is I want you to try and get down your decision making a tiny bit more, basically. What I mean by this is, like, The issue is that decision making is something that comes with time, or if you watch other people play. Like if you go and you watch kind of any kind of like higher ranked mercies and stuff like that, and you watch really honestly like sit there and be like really not so much scrutinizing the gameplay, but really think to yourself and think why are they making this decision, okay? Because I feel as though that will help you with it, but also at the same time, it's just something that you develop with time. So I think best thing for you, BurgerQueen, is honestly just keep on playing at the rank that you are, okay? Because I feel as though you do deserve a bit higher, definitely, especially with how you manage your beams and stuff, definitely. But oh yeah, other things obviously don't hold on to Valks, which I feel as though comes with your decision making, okay? Honestly, just use Valk, okay? There is never ever going to be a perfect time to use Valk, okay? If you feel like you need to use Valk, just use it. So don't worry about it. But for that, BurgerQueen, obviously, please do ask me if you have any more questions. Once again, thank you so much to everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch that have been watching this. You guys can get your own VOD views, leave 5,000 channel points. I do them on my Twitch on Mondays, but I also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays too. Oh, sorry, quickly, just before we end. Unrelated question, damage boosting warriors heals give more heals? No. You cannot, the only things that you can damage boost that will give people healing are Reaper when he's shooting people to get health steal, and BurgerQueen when she uses her axe. Yeah, it does, yeah, Mads has just put it there. It does increase her health regen, so there we are. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.